Hello, 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 everybody out there in internet land. How's everybody doing? What is bonking internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Tavern Talk. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to our lovely community members and fans out there. We have just hit 800 subscribers. You guys are amazing. I'm so happy and grateful for every single one of you, whether you've been here since the Need for Family or you just like some of the shorts we put up. Thank every single one of you for being here, and let's continue with the show. To our newest members who don't know what this is a Tavern Talk. It's like a podcast, but it tends to be shorter, mainly between 40 to 50 minutes long, instead of our usual 1 hour, 45 or 2.5 hour podcast. And it tends to only be two people, instead of a whole cast of 5 or 6 or 7, especially if Arbiter, Lazy, and Ghost want to come on and hang out with the fellas. So, without further ado, welcome to the Tavern Talk. So, on today's topic, Mikey and I have talked about this before. It's actually one of our most popular videos on the channel. Working stories, stuff that has happened at the place of business, stuff that has transpired at the job.
Yep.
Yeah, for those that haven't watched that episode, I definitely recommend going back and watching it. It's actually quite entertaining. I have a little bit of a different attire, as does he. He has not nearly as much melanin in his soul, but we still work with it. So, not picking up where we left off. It's been a hot minute, but I know I've had like an array of jobs from being a barback to being in the military. You've mainly been in the realm of turning wrenches.
Yeah, I did sales for 1 year. That was still in the automotive industry. And then I've been working on cars ever since then. I've been 9 years, I think. Nine years in working and 1 year of sales.
So then for those that might not have been here when we made the first Tavern Talk about this, just give a brief TLDR, like what got you into the automotive industry.
Funny enough, I was just always a really, really bad student throughout all of my years of schooling. And then when I got to high school, I was lucky enough to have a program and a teacher named Trainer. Everyone knows him in our community. He's a legend. He knows how to actually interact with students and drive home points and lessons. And
oh my gosh, he actually helps his peers.
Not even that. So all right, before we get into that, he offers an auto shop program.
Okay.
And the regular course, it's really odd. You can finish the whole course the school wants you to complete in about 2 weeks. How do I know? Fraser and I did it. We finished everything that you needed to require the class in 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I think it's because it's kind of hold up, I got bug in my eye. Anyways, I think it's because it's very experimental. Auto shops are crazy expensive to run because you need the facilities, the equipment, the insurance. It's a whole ordeal.
Oh yeah.
But once we got into it, we just fell in love with it. And Fraser's also part of the auto industry, but he's doing different stuff. He's a manager through parts departments and various things like that. He's done a bit of it all. But when I got into it, it just stuck, man. I had a feel for working on cars. I enjoyed it. I had a teacher who showed me how to get into it and showed me what schools I can go to after I graduated, get certified and get my name out there. And before I had graduated, because I took the class 2 times, all 2 of them, there was the basic and the advanced class. And I burned through the curriculums of both weeks versus the whole year you have. So my teacher would just say, hey, find a project. I'll teach you how to do it. So we did head gaskets, timing chains, valve covers, batteries. We did a paint job on on my buddy Caesar's car. He had a old Honda Civic that needed a paint work done. So there was nothing that was really off limits, and he was really cool. And I don't know. Once I got my hands on it, I thought about it for a couple months, 3-4 months. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to work at a McDonald's. Maybe that's just an ego thing. I don't want to work at a grocery store. I don't want to do all this. I don't want to do all that. Once I got my first job, it just took off. And you hit setbacks, but if you really like it, you'll come back. You'll want it again.
Oh yeah.
It's been the ride ever since. But it's a weird job, man. You meet some characters in this industry.
We discussed this on the previous episode. One of the things that always stands out to me, because I see videos of it, I've seen it in real life, whether they're actually at a body shop, or even something as simple as your Midas, AutoZone, or O'Reilly's, where you have that one dude that couple of keystrokes on Google, and he thinks he knows absolutely everything, and he wants to go up there and like ego chow somebody who's actually employed there and trained to know about this stuff because he read it in an article once. Don't try to lowball me, I know what I'm talking about kind of guy. Have you interacted with that type before?
Yeah, we call him the forum guy. We have a name for it.
Oh no.
The forum technician. They're the worst, man. Especially I work for Jeep, and the company that owns them and all their branching companies. Jeep owners are the fucking worst.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many Jeep for. Whoa.
Well,
let my anger slip out there.
Brandy, you might need to do some editing and blurring.
I didn't point it at nobody yet.
So about these forum Franks.
Dude, Jeep owners are the absolute worst.
Dude, the fact that they have their own slogan, it's a Jeep thing that they just say amongst themselves is annoying. Nothing against it.
Well, it's because there's so many aftermarket communities. There's so many independent clubs. There's a huge culture around them. And when you have that much knowledge, it's really easy to skim a paragraph like this big and think you know everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Jeep owner's manual, it's that thick. Like, genuinely, it's huge. You think you're going to learn everything about that by reading one thing offline one time? Get the hell out of here. That is not how it works. And then when you get into customizing them, because there's no such thing as a stock Jeep, it just snowballs into, I put these tires on, now it wobbles. Did the dampener, now it drives smooth, but it kind of pulls to one side. I did the adjustable control arm, now pull into the other side. There's so much of a learning curve. I know I'm going to get all technical and weird. I deal with it all the time.
Oh yeah.
And I've done work for Asian specialty shops. I've done work for European businesses, and I've done work for agriculture, heavy duty, and diesel. Jeep gets under my skin the worst. They're great products, but the owners, ugh.
So what would you say is worse? Because I know we've had these conversations. Is like, which this is gonna sound mad. I mean this in the most PG way possible, but which load would you rather bear? Jeep, but knowing the owners can have the tendency of being pieces of shit, or, as you told us before, CHP with their fucking deadlines that they expect you guys to meet.
I personally enjoy CHP more. They're just really cool people. They run a really tight ship. Unfortunately, with the urgency of the vehicles they need and like when they need it done, we do have that workplace conflict where it's like, all right, cool, we have these 8 things that need to be done by tomorrow. Like, okay, that's a tall order, but and I get where they're coming from. The trade-off is you do get a lot of really unique experience, and you do get a lot of really cool situations where you can actually learn from super specialized people.
Okay.
The downside is, every once in a while, you get a guy who went off of the road train where a sign went through the gas tank, through the floorboards, out the trunk. And I knocked my headset loose.
There's a lot to unpack with that sentence alone.
That's a true story. Oh man, the irony being, it was a stop sign.
Why am I not surprised? Well,
and he hit it in a Dodge.
Because honestly, that's one of my favorite things to watch when I'm on YouTube. Outside of the copious amounts of VTubers that I watch, which there's a lot. Hi, Shy Lily, I just bought your bundle. Love it. but I love watching like idiots on the road.
Okay.
Just because I'm like, I already have a fear of being inside motor vehicles because I've been in several car crashes, not from me driving, and I've been
Same.
hit, and I've been hit by cars for some
Same.
reason numerous times.
Oh, I'm only on one.
Oh no, I'm outside of an 18 wheeler or any sort of like big lorry delivery vehicle. I've probably been hit by it at least one time, from a smart car to a diesel truck.
I get
I
hit by a Ford Taurus.
I got
Just the one.
hold on. Did I what?
She didn't. What?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I got hit by a Ford Taurus just the one time.
My I don't want to say my favorite. It was actually traumatizing, but I managed to walk away from it because I got mushed between a Dodge Challenger and a Maserati. This
Oh,
dude,
jeez. My lord,
yeah,
DJ.
this dude didn't want to pay his tab. This is a story that I can go into later on. At the bar that I worked at, it was a gentleman's club, and he got into his car. Now he's on the far end of the parking lot. Okay, and I'm standing right here behind him. There's still cars parked in front of the building. He's on the far end of the lot. And I'm trying to snap a picture of his license plate since he's wanting to take off. I now legally have to call the cops because in the state that I live in, uh, an unpaid bar tab, if it's like exceeds a certain amount, is considered
Yeah.
theft. So I'm trying to take a
Yeah.
picture of his license plate, and next thing you know, I see the rear view lights kick on, and that thing starts coming towards me really fucking quickly. Now, what I didn't know, directly behind me is our high rollers car, and it's a fucking Maserati.
Okay. Very low to the ground, very agile.
So I turn around to try to dive out of the way. I caught a glimpse of the Maserati, and for some reason, my brain went from I need to move to oh shit, this is gonna be bad.
You don't say.
Next thing you know, I'm up on top of the guy's trunk. He slams into the Maserati, guns it out of the parking lot where I roll off. One of my buddies who was running towards me to help me out watches this entire thing go down. Before the guy can throw it in the drive, he runs to the driver's side window and just straight punches it out.
Holy lord. Whoa. Whoa. Sorry.
Straight punches it out clean. And then as the guy drives off, he realizes what he just did, and you just hear an audible, "Some bitch, I hurt."
Yeah, the adrenaline only lasts for so long.
So then everybody's checking on me. I immediately stand up, and I'm like, I know I shouldn't be standing right now. I just got mushed between two cars, but I'm standing. Maybe the adrenaline hasn't worn off me just yet. I should probably just go lay down in the nice, soft, wet grass and really, like, gather myself. So I do just that. 5 minutes later, the cops show up, and I stand back up again. I'm like, am I okay? There's no shot I should be all right now. But for some reason, I'm all right now. Pretty solid deal.
I kind of get it. When I got rear-ended, I felt the same way. I wasn't sure if I was hurt. I knew I was stiff in certain areas, so I did a pat down and laid on the ground and like cooled off a bit. And when I got up, I'm like, okay, cool. No doctor visits today.
Yeah, the cops kept on asking me, like, would you like to be seen by a medical professional? I'm like, I don't think I'm too bad off outside of maybe needing a bag of ice and some cookies for comfort. Other than that, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
So then it turned into they had to go find this guy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, do you remember what he was driving? Oh, he's driving a Dodge Charger. You'll know which one it is. It's missing the driver's side window."
Okay, that does narrow it down.
They were like, "Why is it missing the driver's side window?" I just slowly look over at my bud, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to chime in here?"
We couldn't tell you, officer. Unfortunately.
My buddy is one of those like, I hate to say it, this dude is Caucasian as fuck. He makes the driven snow look pigmented, but
Okay.
he's also one of those gangster kids. He's just like, I'm for the streets, bro. I ain't gonna snitch. Not gonna snitch. It's to help me.
Motherfucker, I need your help.
So they find the guy,
Help
and they
me.
find the guy. And they immediately tell me like I need to get into the police officer's car and go to the guy's location so I can identify him. I'd like to point out this is when I carried several knives on me at a moment's notice, and this cop just asked me to get into his car. As much as I had no problem doing so, I had like no intention before anybody thinks anything. But immediately I was just like, "Don't ask me for a pat down. Don't ask me for a pat down. I'm fucked if he asks me for a pat down because one of these knives is illegal. I think."
We've all got one of those.
Oh yeah, mine was a butterfly knife, but it was just a display one.
It's kind of a gray area in a lot of places. If it doesn't have a proper blade, you can argue it's a souvenir piece.
And that's where we're allowed to have them at their souvenir pieces, but they can't. But they have to. If you are transferring them to another location, they have to remain in a sealed box.
Oh, okay.
And my buddy and I, we got in trouble when we were bringing it from the shop to our house, and the cop pulled us over. He thought he smelled marijuana, which none of us smoke, and he searches the car. He finds the butterfly knife, and he immediately wanted to give us hell for it. And we're like, "Here's the fucking receipt.
Just bought it, dude.
Go somewhere with yourself."
Exactly.
Well, so back on track. Trust me, got several of those working at the titty bar.
EJ, don't you got a meter to go made? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how you get your ass kicked. Don't do that.
That's the quickest way to get a boot on your car.
Yeah. Among other things.
That's one of the things I want to know is, have you ever had to deal with people that pull conniving shit like that? Like taking, like manually finding some way to take a boot off their car and then they bring it to you?
Oh man. I've had the same. Oh, let's get that out of here. I've had the same. Sorry. Yeah, I've had the same car come in after it was shot twice. We were repairing the.
Whoa.
What?
You want to run that by me again, Chief?
Yeah, his car was shot at.
Okay.
He was fine. So he brought it in. He's like, "Yeah, I need a new cluster." I'm like, "Why? What's wrong?" And he's like, "Well, as you can see, between 70 and 80, I'm missing a spot. There's a bullet hole ripping through it." True story. The guy's great. He's a funny dude. He just lives in a rough area.
I'd say so.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it.
Oh my god.
I'm rubbing my eyes because I've been there. It stresses me out. I'm serious. That neighborhood stresses me out just thinking about it.
Well, like
yeah.
LA or something?
No. It's local to my town, but it's like one of those places where like 4 square miles is just crazy dangerous, and the rest of the town's super nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he lives out there. That car had been shot out twice. We've 100% had stolen cars come in and be like, yeah, my touch this red wire times. Now, like
you cut out right there. Can you say that again?
We've 100% had stolen cars show up where they're like, yeah, my keys don't work, so you gotta like jiggle the lock a little bit and touch this red wire top, and I'm like, what? I wasn't born yesterday. You hot wired this car.
He thinks this don't belong to you, sir.
We've had that. Of course, we always get the authorities involved. We have a direct hotline to CHP, so it's quick. That shit gets handled ASAP. What's the other one? Oh yeah. We had one guy who threw his engine, blew it up, took everything off, did all of his best to like hide the fact that that's why he did it. And, oh, it's still under warranty. I get all this and that. His Instagram was a big sticker on the side of his car.
What?
So,
oh my god.
So someone looks it up and they just see him drag racing completely illegally down a county road and blue flames shooting out the back. For anybody who's into high-end cars, you know, nitrous flames are like crazy long when you have it tuned out right. So yeah, we get catchy weird shit all the time, my guy. It never ends.
I think my favorite is like people like that where they try to downplay just how badly they fucked up their shit.
Oh, damn.
I
Oh, my
wasn't
God.
going
Oh, my
that
God.
fast.
DJ, you just struck a nerve.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hit me.
I got to find the video. I'll share it if I could find it. We had a guy who was speeding through a neighborhood, and there's a big center divider, and the ground lifts up. Sorry, not a center divider, a roundabout. And the ground lifts up, and there's this like cute little island with a few small plants and a few baby trees. And he ran it, and he just airborned probably about 40 feet down the road, about 20 feet high. He's in a van. He is in a Chrysler Town and Country van.
Oh, wow.
Lands, and he hits so hard the engine falls out the bottom of the car, and it's used as a brake because it's dragging as an anchor against the rest of the car.
My lord.
To stop it from moving. He brought it into us and said, "Oh yeah, no, I hit a pothole and I went into a ditch. It was a..." Well, the police were looking for him because the way that he crashed was he was running from them. That's why he missed the island and shot over it like it was a ramp and needed speed. Dude.
Listen, I'm sorry, but if you're in anything that's Chrysler Town and Country or Dodge Grand Caravan, you're not.
Yeah. No.
Like, you're not getting away from shit.
That's the thing. He got away until he went to the shop because everything fell out the bottom of the car. So,
Literally.
by chance... Oh, yeah, literally fell out the bottom of the car. So we didn't believe he wanted to go through his insurance because he's a cheap ass. He didn't want to pay for it. There's a process. We got to call an adjuster. They got to take pictures. And we didn't call the adjuster. We called the cops because we knew there was something suspicious. So 2 officers who we know on a first name basis walk up with the whole arms crossed looking tough thing. And they see him and the dude just bolts. He was...
Dude, imagine just like, if you really wanted to go that route, don't go through your insurance. Pay in cash. Don't leave a paper trail. For the love of God.
Oh, 100%. He could have genuinely like got away with it, but as soon as the insurance got involved, everything just went tits up for him.
Because you got to remember, when you have, like, if you're wanting to go through your insurance on anything, even though your insurance is there to back you in case you need it, they don't want to give you anything. So they're going to do an extensive deep dive to make sure that it's justified that they're going to give you anything. So that's the first thing any insurance company would have done. Well, even though you guys didn't even go through the insurance company yet, I guarantee you his insurance company would have been like, hey, so this looks a little fucky. The fact that your entire block is not there.
It's on the floor, wedged into your fucking... Dude, it was a whole mess. We had to get people involved. We had to be part of the court case. I don't even remember what he was running from in the first place. We just knew that he ran from the police for some reason. That one was fantastically funny. Oh, man.
Quoting Judas Priest, he was just breaking the law.
He really was. That fool was living after midnight, and no one could stop him. He was sending it.
We're in the metalhead bar, so we had to make a metal reference.
Oh my! Speaking of, since we're at work stuff, everyone knows this. Everyone knows the horns.
Yes.
But you know how when you throw the thumb out, it's totally different. Different culture, different thing entirely. So me and my coworker Tyler are listening to Lorna Shore when Through the Hellfire dropped, and we're headbanging, we're having a good time, and just walks out and she throws up the horns and then she flips the thumb out on us, and he points at her, a manager, he's like the lowest level of the totem pole, and says, "Put your fucking thumb away, Karen, you nerd."
Wait, hold on. Maybe I'm missing something. What does the thumb out mean? Because to me, that's sign language for that. I could be very wrong here, but
that's surf culture, dude.
See, because like I've known it as that's sign language for "I love you," ILY.
Yeah. No, that's surf culture. The shaka, whatever shit.
Because then surf culture is also hang loose, but then this was also adopted into skateboarding.
It's been through so many things, but the dude hit was so much aggro on this poor 40-year-old woman who had no idea what the hell was happening.
Whether you were
This is the same one who keeps saying I drink on the clock, but that's a whole other deal.
I mean, you're on the clock and you are drinking. So, I mean...
No, it's because I had the AMW. It says, that says beer on it. I'm like, yeah, it says root beer. Root beer, Karen.
Fucking nerd.
Oh, she yelled at me too. She was like, do you know what that's got in it? I'm like, it's a lot of sugar, but you're not my fucking mom.
Are you changing my diapers? Are you paying my bills? No to both questions? All right, mind your business. I love telling that to people. I love telling that to people because I have an outlandish style of dress for those that don't
style of existence.
Yeah, basically, dude. Like trip pants, t-shirts that have either a band on it or someone's titties. I recently got my hair dyed, so I have a neon green mohawk, and I think it's great. And they constantly, I actually had this today. I was at the grocery store. We'll get back to work stories here in a second, but I had this one lady. She wanted to come up and see my shirt, and then she wanted to tell me about my hair. And at the end of this rant, she tells me that she doesn't like what I'm wearing. And I was like, man, you mean to tell me you crossed an entire grocery store to tap me on the shoulder, to make me take off my headphones, to tell me that you don't like what I'm wearing, and you're expecting me to give a damn? You had nothing else better to do in the last 5 minutes of your time? Let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you having sex with me? No. Are you making me food? No. Are you putting a roof over my head? No. Then remind me when I should give a single damn about what you think. Whenever you are paying my bills, having sex with me, or making me food, then I might give a shit about what you're thinking.
Exactly. And you lean in close. You hit it with the, if you listen quietly, you can hear all the fucks I'm not giving right now.
I still love the classic when somebody tells you their opinion. That's great. I too have an asshole. That doesn't mean I need to give a damn about yours.
I might workshop that one. I feel like that's got potential, but it could hit harder.
Someone said that to me, and I'm like, wow, damn, that stung. I'm gonna hang on to that one forever now.
By the way, DJ, I saw your current look. I love your work in Demolition Man.
I fucking hate you.
Come on. That man was built in that movie. He was a unit.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It was just weird. Like, I was going through the list of colors that she had, and I said, if I'm going to full send this, might as well full send it. And I just picked neon green. I went, we're going there.
Dude, toxic green is a fucking vibe.
For the most part, I've gotten approval. Girly likes it.
What about your mama?
She doesn't know.
This fucking guy.
Because I'm in my 30s, and I'm still afraid of her.
That is fucking beautiful.
I have a feeling if she knew that I dyed my hair, even though I'm across the country, she would still ground me.
She'd get a plane ticket.
For real, she would too. But, real quick, it's that time. We're at the halfway point. This is where we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to hear from our partner, Dubby. Take it away, other us. Whew. Well, that was fun. Oh. Hey, gamer. Still can't clutch up in Warzone? Still no victory royales? Still maidenless? It's time to change how you play, son. Drink Dubby, the delicious gaming energy supplement that'll help you achieve that epic play of the game. Now head on over to w.gg and use our code NSE for 10% off your total order. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the battlefield.
Hey, everybody out there on the internet. NoSkill Mike here to invite you personally to our NoSkill Discord server. In the description below, in the link tree, easy access to all the fun, music, and other entertaining things we share and interact with the community on every single day. So hopefully I'll see you there or somewhere out here in this big, wonderful world.
Hello, 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 and we are back. Did you have fun with that little bit of ad read? Thank you once again to Dubby for hanging out with us. You are beautiful, you are wonderful, and I hope your luscious locks stay golden and smooth forever. And also, join the Discord. We're kind of cool. Come on in, drop a meme, leave us some music. We're pretty much in there every single day. You're bound to run into one of us, and for the most part, you can get one of us to answer. So, come on in and hang out with us for a little bit. We're kind of cool. Anyway, back to working men. Because I'm clearly a man. So I want to jump back into the whole working stories. One I want to just talk about real quick that's personal to me. Earlier, when we first started this episode, you mentioned something about you didn't want to work at a grocery store.
Yeah, no offense. I know you did that.
I've worked at two. Yeah, when I still lived in Phoenix, Arizona, I worked at this grocery store called Fry's Food and Drug. I was a courtesy clerk. I basically was a grocery bagger.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I honestly loved how easy it was because, well, nobody needs to talk to me. All you need to answer is paper or plastic. And even then, I'm going to try to get you to go with plastic.
Way easier.
Way easier, more durable. Paper doesn't have handles, and fuck it. But my favorite part about that is when people would want help bringing their groceries to their cars. Because to any courtesy clerk, this is a golden opportunity because now you're gonna have the dice roll of will they tip you or not. So I would always, especially when it came to like moms with a lot of kids and old people, those were your mainstay go-tos. Like it was weird. Like the rest of the courtesy clerks and we had like this, I guess you could say this game plan, this fix of like, if somebody was about to, if we clocked an old person or a mom with a lot of kids who seems to be, wanting to handle her kids, that courtesy clerk is running over to that lane because that is your prime target of you're probably going to be asked to help bring their groceries out.
Yep, of course.
And at the age of 16, I was already like, I want to say I was already 5'10", like 5'10", 5'11", and so I'm like long legging it over to these lanes, and it was either hit or miss of like, okay, are they gonna want help out with their groceries, or is it, they're gonna two arm one trip it, as we do. What are you doing?
I dropped a controller. I was hoping you wouldn't bring attention to it.
I'm just gonna leave camera one here for a second, and Brandon, you're gonna watch what I'm looking at.
Oh no! Stop it! Hey.
Nope, keep going. Go ahead, do you think?
No. I dropped the controller. I wasn't doing that.
Rico Suave out here just, dry humping the bar. Hell yeah.
I dropped the controller. I was fishing for it, okay? When I'm dry humping, everybody knows because everyone's disappointed in this situation.
If I wanted to disappoint somebody, I'd dry hump their leg. So I still remember at one point, I had this one old lady, she only has like 2 bags, but because she's elderly, I'm assuming it might have been too heavy for her. I was ignorant at the age of 16 because I don't know anything, and I bring her groceries to her car. I put them in the back seat. I go to turn away. She taps me on the shoulder, and then she just acts like she's giving me a handshake, but I clearly feel something in my palm, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a great night.
Please tell me it was a condom.
I turn away. No, she gave me a fucking $100 bill.
Holy mother of the Lord!
Yeah, she gives me a fucking $100 bill. I'm looking at this thing. She's closed her door. I unfold it. I look and I'm like, I immediately run back to her window. As much as in any other situation, I would have like if it was like a $10 bill, I'm taking it. But in this case, it's $100. My integrity is kicking in, and I'm fiendishly knocking on her window. Ma'am, did you actually, hello? Did you mean to give this to me? And she just rolls down the window a little bit. She goes, "It's yours. You keep it. Thank you for the help." I'm like, I got tipped $100 for 2 fucking bags? Time to heel click. But so goes, I'm telling my cohorts about this, about my haul.
Yeah.
That one dude in any work environment, and if you don't know who that dude is
You
in your
never
work
should have
environment,
told him. You know there's a narc. You know there's always one. If you're watching this video, you don't know who it is, fucker.
yeah, if you don't know who the narc is, you're probably the narc, and you're wondering why now nobody wants to talk to you.
Oh, dude, I'm lightheaded. You spiked my blood pressure. Holy shit. Oh, you can hear my heartbeat.
Can you feel my heart?
Oh, don't you start with me. Go back to your story, fuck ass.
So the narc tells our fucking manager, and next thing you know, we're all having a meeting the day before the day before a sales shift, and I'm like, "What's this about?" And she, my manager, she's the Karenest of Karens when it comes to managers, and she's my fucking manager of all fucking people. And she's just like, "I received notice, not naming any names. Nobody's in trouble this time, but I have been informed that a couple of you have been accepting tips when you help customers out with their groceries. You are technically not allowed to do that. So here's what I offer you." And tell me this isn't the worst trade deal of all fucking time. If you are to be tipped, you bring the money to me, and we will split it evenly. What?
I'm so glad you were at a grocery store and not a shop, because it doesn't matter what shop you're in. Someone would have said, "Counter offer, go fuck yourself." At 100% would have happened. That's just shop life. And if everyone's like, "Oh no," one of the office ladies would never say that. They would. They might spit on you too, just to really drive it home.
See, now I would have been like, "Counter offer. How about you fucking fall off a cliff?" But in Minecraft, of course. But at the age of 16, it's my first job. Plus, I'm really terrified of my mom, and I'd have to go back home to her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just gotta swallow my tongue. So then we tried to get like even more sly. He's doing it again.
Did you stop?
So we had to get.
You ain't gotta draw attention to shit. Be cool, Deej. Be cool. You're being a narc.
Being cool. But so we found more ways to be slick with, like, if we were to receive tips, and it was, I'm putting this in the waistline of my fucking pants, so that way my boss can't see it. Because there was times when if we were walking customers out with their groceries, either the store greeter or one of the managers would walk outside with us and watch us do like put the groceries in the car, so that way they could see if we actually got tipped.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the customers got hit to it, and they were just like, one of my customers, he was such a great dude. I basically helped him out every single time. He'd always give me like $5. I told him what the managers were doing, and he goes, "That's fucking stupid." Those weren't his exact words. The word that he did use, I can't say right now. But
There, I got you.
But so that to make it look legit, he gave me a high five, but then he would purposely miss my hand, and then he would stuff the money in my shirt.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've had a customer do that to me before because I have a breast pocket.
Mm.
I hate being touched, bro. I almost throw a check to dude. I hate it, man.
So
sorry, continue.
But it was just our ways of being slick about it, because we were like, why do we have to give you the money that we worked for? I'll later on find out about corporate America, but
no.
But so that's how we had our little workaround. One time, one of the other clerks got caught. She was outright handed like $10, and then as the car drives away and she's walking back to the store, one of the managers like deadbolt sprints up to her, and he's just like, I saw that.
Real NPC energy
Hand
over
it
there.
over. And we're all like, that's fucked. Like, in the middle of the parking lot, in front of customers, you're also an adult. She's only 16, and you're
Chill the
saying
fuck
the
out.
words hand it over. This is not a good look.
No, not at all.
I ended up leaving that job because then I got a job at Super Target when I was 17. And it was,
Blech.
oh yeah. I didn't know how heinously toxic Super Target or Target in general was until I worked there. And it was a grand it was a grand opening. Like I was there for like day one. They're cutting. I was actually there. We were helping build, like putting the bitch together. Like I'm talking, putting up shelves and then stocking all the shelves. I didn't get paid to work construction though. I was paid to be a cashier. Yeah, I moved up in life. I was no longer a courtesy clerk. I was a cashier. But my only claim to fame at that place is I made the very first sale. It was a pack of gum. I'll hold that forever. Sorry, that's my little gloating thing. But the only thing I loved about Super Target, other than the massive amount of like I hated the fact that there was Karens every fucking where. Like all of these people just thought that they were so good and entitled to everything. But the only thing I really did love about it was when you know how with a lot of Super Targets they'll have that Starbucks / Pizza Hut connecting thing.
Yep, every time.
Every single time that they were about to just throw out some form of pizza or breadsticks or whatever, they would come up to the cashier since we're right there and be like, "Hey, so we're about to throw this out. Y'all want it?" Me on mine. Yes, I would love it. Thank you so much for this gift. I had so much free fucking pizza from that place. I don't know how I qualified to join the military. I was egregiously big boy by the time by the time my tenure was done there.
Because they saw you and they're like, look at how much rucksack this boy can carry. Tell me that's not true, Deej. They told me the same thing, but I opted out.
Like, I want to say one of the before I carry on and make this about me. So, even though you've never worked retail,
No.
what would you? Because car service is still in the realm of it's not in the realm. It is customer service. So, what type of like Karens or Kevins have you had to deal with? Like who thinks they're uppity and knows absolutely everything and knows more than you?
I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna get my blood pressure under control. I'm gonna breathe because this one's great. The long and short of it is we had a interesting customer. Interesting is the word I'm going to use. He's a really cool guy, but he's got a lot of problems in life, and he is one of those forum guys. Oh, I read this online. I know how this works. Where he gets a little bit of credibility is he has a master's in mechanical engineering. So he's not dumb by any means, but he's also never done his own customization stuff. So it's a whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
I love him to death. I still talk to him. He lives near some of my family, so every once in a while I'll outside and visit. But our relationship didn't start like that. I was main advisor. I had a secondary guy. Secondary guy walks out and says, "Hey, good morning, blah, blah, blah," says his full name, like properly, because we're really big on customer service. He gets in his face about this close and says, "Never fucking call me a sir. I am younger than you, and I will be treated like a fucking healthy young man." And has a full meltdown, DJ. A full screaming tears in his eyes.
Hey, you're definitely not a
okay.
sir. You're a fucking man child.
Okay, so at the time, that's what I would have thought. He was going through a lot. Having the full story now, I get it. So I start talking him down. We cool off. We shoot the shit for a little bit. Cool. What can I do for you on your G today? He starts screaming at me again because he's like, I need this, this, and this. As somebody who's done this for a long time, I can tell by looking. You don't need this. You don't need this. This you do need, but the kit you want isn't going to do the job right. you need to spend $800 more, and you will never have a problem with this Jeep for the rest of your life. And dude, everything I said was wrong. You're uneducated. He was cutting deep, like really getting vicious for no reason. And I talked him down again. This whole encounter, normally I can get this whole exchange done in like maybe 9 minutes tops. That's like a high time. It took like an hour and 45 minutes to get this dude out of my office. So I see him the next time. We get his Jeep done. He picks it up. He pulls me off to the side. He shakes my hand. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. And we talked it out. We ended up becoming pretty good friends. He's a really cool dude to still keep up. That dude will not deal with our other advisors. I'm not a service advisor anymore. I don't do that job. But when he shows up, I handle his paperwork. I show up with my goofy little clip. Well, we have an iPad. The clipboard got phased out.
Mm-hmm.
I show up with my goofy little iPad. I say, hey, fill everything out. How you doing? How's the kids? How's the wife? Did you hear that new thing, that new torque horn's going on? Sorry, excuse me. This dude is the most diehard Korn and Black Sabbath fan you'll ever meet. He deleted his back seats. He custom built a roof that is nothing but speakers. Every 4.5 inches on his roof is a speaker. The whole thing. If you took it off, it would be a solid panel of 8x10s. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The rear seats are two 16-inch huge subwoofers. He's got speakers hidden in all of his door panels, and everything is custom tuned out to where rock and roll and metal sounds absolutely crisp and beautiful. Oh. So he started out as our nightmare customer. He was just horrible with the staff, an absolute dickhead to deal with, which feels bad now. Dude, he was the nightmare, and by sheer perseverance and sheer luck, we ended up becoming pretty cool friends. And every once in a while, when he's actually like being a dickhead to me at work, I'll point him out and be like, hey, you see Scott over there? And Scott's helping you today. You go deal with him. It's like a pit bull, man. He rushes them down, starts yelling at him and shit, starts waving a cane around. Actually gonna try to hit him. Oh my god. It's a menace.
Bro. Watch, he's gonna see this and then he's gonna come to you and be like, wait, you didn't like me at first? What the hell?
It's not a surprise, dude.
You were kind of a cock.
You were mean as shit. You almost hit somebody twice.
Oh,
and he's not going to see this because his boomer ass only knows sound systems. Any other technology? Witchcraft.
Oh, yeah. That's my mom in a nutshell. Anything past America Online, she's just like, yeah, no, it's too advanced for me.
They putting the sex in the computers. I'm out.
I'm done. But I loved when customers would do that to me when I was like being either a cashier or a bagger at the grocery store. It was like, the Karen, you are, I hate to say it, but you're the older type, okay? You're in your late 40s or 50s, mm-hmm. and you're wanting to talk down to a 16-year-old like that's a flex. Like, I still remember the first time I dealt with a Karen who's I immediately called the manager over because at this point, I'm 16, I'm a skateboarder, I have a loose mouth, and you're not my mother. And so I called my manager over, and my manager's like calmly, very, very, white lady-like, just like, so relate to me, what is the issue? What is happening here? Well, mm-hmm. Your employee here, I asked him for assistance, and he didn't, blah, 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 blah. And he said he can't do it. Well, ma'am, he can't do it, that he's not qualified for that. And so we asked that you ask one of us if he says that he can't do it, because he legally can't do it. Well, exactly. I'm sorry. And then she turns away from my manager and then just looks at me for some reason. And she goes, well, I'm sorry that your employee is uneducated and doesn't have the brain capacity enough to handle tasks like this. And I'm like,
dude. Oh, Deej, you go about to set me off right now because I deal with that shit all the time. The people need to understand a job has jurisdiction. Uh-huh. There's things you do. There's things I do. Uh-huh. There's things neither of us can do. Uh-huh. But everybody who sees a name tag, that is the end all be all solution. And you need to fucking relax.
Yep.
Because there's a real risk of safety, there's a real risk of health, and there's a real risk of overall security. That you and I would steal anything,
Mhm.
but if we had the keys to the whole shop, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I would pocket some like binders and paper clips because I need extra shit for D&D. That's just me personally, but like, other people might do worse.
I'd steal a catalytic converter and then give it to somebody who drives a Cadillac and be like, "Here's your Cadillac converter," just to piss him off.
You're an idiot. I'm
Yeah,
about to hit you right now. You get knife handed. Where's my drink? Someone also get me my dueling gloves.
But also at this point, the whole uneducated and doesn't know about the system. Like once again, you're in your 50s and you're talking shit to a 16-year-old.
I can't eat to someone who can't vote. Think about that.
So at this point, I now no longer care. Here's one of the reasons as to why I don't work at Super Target anymore, because I got fired. So as soon as she's done with her rant about how I'm uneducated to the system and how like things work this way, yada yada yada, I was like, yeah, no shit. I didn't go to the class that lets me be qualified because I'm not old enough. You have to be 18 to take that class, which I am not. Something that you weren't aware of because apparently your uneducated ass doesn't know your asshole from your fucking mouth. But you're shitting out of somewhere. God damn, if only you were getting dick down better at your house, you might be a little bit happier. What do you say to that?
Facts. Everybody look, facts.
And my manager is completely stun locked. Karen's just like, and then I snap back to reality. Mom's spaghetti is spilling all out of my pockets, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just say? Did that come out of me? Whoa. And so my manager just goes, you might want to just go into the break room and I'll call you out in a little bit. I'm like, yep, I know what that means.
That's on me. That's my bad.
I ride my bike home and my mom's just like, oh, you got off of work early? I'm like, yeah, I got off work early. They let me off. Oh, why? Oh, why they let you off early? Oh, because I got fired. Wait, what? Why? And I'm like, my mom is at this point putting on her slippers and getting her keys. My mom is very, very, very ghetto. And by ghetto, I mean because somebody did something to her son, she's ready to go commit felonies on my behalf.
So Deej, you mind if I hop in here? Was this your first time getting let go of sorts?
Yes.
Okay, I ask because I had a very similar experience. I got let go. First thing, bro, both of my parents like, all right, cool, getting in. We're gonna go talk to somebody. I'm like, whoa, relax, calm down, everybody. Let's just be cool for about 8 seconds. It's funny that like that's got to be a cultural thing because you know damn well there are people who get fired for good reasons. Like genuinely good reasons, and their parents like, you're worth that thick shit. That's my boomer voice.
Well, the downside to all of it as to why a lot of employees at whatever industry you work in, but primarily the customer service industry, is the whole mindset of the customer is always right. No, you're not. You're stupid as hell, but the problem is I can't tell you you're stupid as hell.
That's like going to a doctor and saying, I don't think your medical degree is worth it. That's not how that fucking works. Yes, they're human. They're allowed error. But, like, calm the fuck down. You're not a fucking expert in produce. That's why your ass works in accounting.
And so that's where the problem lies is the whole, like, we had now to adopt this mentality of the customer's always right. No, like, I'm just going to call a spade here. This is just me saying this. 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time, the customer, you're fucking stupid.
And wrong.
But
I was going to say.
No, and wrong. You're
always wrong.
And wrong. But now I legally can't tell you you're stupid and wrong because then that means I don't get a paycheck. So just because...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Deej, I'm going to add on to this. The only time you will ever know you're right is when you get somebody's pupils to dilate when they tell you fact. When you spit facts to the service that you're going to and their pupils get wider with fear, that's when you know you're right. If that doesn't happen, you are talking out your ass. You don't know a damn thing about what you're talking about. Not a one.
Especially with some of the industries that I worked in, especially like in the security business, when somebody's wanting to tell me how to do my job, this is how you know you are A, wrong, and B, you are sounding like a jackass. Said guy, especially me being a bouncer, the head goes down, a long sigh, and then the hands go in the pocket, which means now I'm prepared to at least stare at you while you go off. My ears have completely turned off and checked out of this conversation, but I'll wait till you're done talking, because ultimately, since I'm head honcho, what I say goes. Since I work there.
So not to keep going back to the same thing. When I got let go of my first legit full-time job, my parents had the same reaction as your mom, the exact same. And I talked them down, I cooled them off, and I told them, hey, this is business. He didn't think I was a good fit. Boss let me go. That's the way it works. And to them, that's the end of the story. What actually happened is, for anybody who doesn't know, if you let gear oil get to the point where it rots, all the ingredients break down. So you have a horrible mix of sulfur, gasoline, and filth, rot and filth from like 40 years. And my uniforms were covered in it because I had just busted my ass reviving Caltrans vehicles from 1985. So my boss asked me, hey, can you bring in your uniform? Since you're no longer working here, we got to return this to whatever our company is. Yeah, sure, no problem. Are you going to be there Friday? No, I'll be out of town, but my office is dropping. I filled up a trash bag with all my uniforms. They smelled like death. I could have cleaned them. Didn't. I left him in his office, shut the window, turned the AC off, locked the door, and left him all over his desk. And I'm like, fuck you, Brett. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, you're fucking evil.
Oh, dude, the best part is the foreman of the company. For anyone who's not in the, if you're not the general manager, the foreman is the king. He runs the shop. He teaches. He advises. He is the one who makes sure everything goes on track. The foreman catches me and he says, "Hey, I just saw what you did. Are you serious?" And I said, "Yes. Why I am, Sir Foreman." He said, "Cool, man. It's been a pleasure working with you. I'll see you around." And he walks over and he blocks the doors so nobody can go in there. And he fucking leaves. Oh man, dude. I ran into that owner a year later at a charity event. And he's like, "Did you really need to do that?" I'm like, "Hey, man, you did a job for some bullshit reasons. So, like, what do you want from me?" I'll give him this. And that's why I even said his name. There's no animosity between us. We shook hands. We had a laugh about it. We were cool. At the time, there was friction, of course. But now that we've grown a little bit and moved on, oh, man, I wouldn't have traded that for nothing. That shit was so funny. And I could just see his face because he has a really weak stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was so worth it. That was beautiful. I still keep in contact with almost everybody from that company. I got to hit up Pam. This is a mental note. If she sees this, remind me, please. And tell Joaquin to fuck off because I don't want to talk to him, but he keeps staying in.
I'm just gonna leave it at this because we got to be closing out soon, as usual. Especially when you and I start going on, we ran a little long. But yeah. So ending off, my mom is angry on my behalf. She's about to go over there and backhand everybody. Baby powder's already in the fucking purse. And while she's like getting her shit together, like, wow, why'd they fire you? I'm like, oh, because I told some Karen that she wasn't getting dick down enough. My mom drops her keys. My stepfather, who's in the other room, just audibly spits out a PBR, and he just goes, "What?"
That's so good, though.
And so he comes up to me, he shakes my hand, he goes, "I'm not your father, but damn, I'm proud of you." I start laughing. My mom's just like, "You know what? I can't even be mad. Get in the car. No. Get in the car. Just get in the car. We're going to Papa John's. Like, let's go. Get in the car now."
Because they're honest working folks, and they had to deal with that fucking Karen. Mm-hmm. You know what they did.
But it's different because back in the day, especially in their era, especially my stepfather, you could actually cuss a customer out and tell them to fuck off. Hell, in certain industries, you're liable to hit them with something. 'Cause he used to be a line cook, and he got into an argument with a guy, and he hit a dude with a pan, and the rest of the customers and the business went, "Damn, that sucks. That looked like it hurt. Don't do it again."
What an idiot. DJ, welcome to shop life. It's still like that.
Yep.
I saw a dude get chased down with a sledgehammer. They still work together. They shook hands, cooled off, and we're back to business as usual. True story. And for the idiot who works with them still, because you're part of that company, don't rat me out. I know you're watching, motherfucker. Be cool, man. Don't be a fucking narc.
But on that note, it is that time. It is outro time. Ooh, yay, we made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the conclusion of another episode of the Tavern Talk. As usual, this was really fun. When Mikey and I start kicking off, it goes. So this episode is going to run a little bit longer than usual. Bear with us. But there's a lot that we could talk about between the many odd jobs that I've worked, or him and the shop life that he's worked for the last 17 however long. But as usual,
years, bro.
As usual, closing statements, closing arguments, closing notes. What do you want to say to the folks real quick?
Work sucks. Things get hectic. But at the end of the day, you really got to find the fun in it. You have to see where the good times were. You have to remember the good people. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the man or whether it's the owner you came eye to eye with years later, or the coworker who you still vibe with on a daily basis, man. Life is as fun as you make it. So, put a little bit of effort in. You're gonna get it. But that's just me. That's my 2 cents on the matter.
Say that last bit again, because you cut out right there when you're about to be sentimental.
That is just me. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. You take 2.
But closing notes for me, quoting a very wise philosopher. He once said, "Late night, come home, work sucks. I know." Someone left him roses by the stairs and acts like that. Let him know that she really cares. If you know, you know. But real talk. When it comes to, I don't want to go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. But real talk though, when it comes to the customer service industry, understand this to you future customers of either like simple as going to the grocery store or going to a car shop. Go in there with an open peace of mind and know that these people are professionals. They went to school for this. They've been trained on this. Your one little wiki paragraph doesn't make you a professional. And also, go in there with an open peace of mind and understand that the person that you're dealing with is also a human who also wants to just go home.
Shocker, I know.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief, he doesn't want to stay in the shop after it closes. He's not dry humping exhaust filters. He wants to go home and have a beer.
No, I clog the toilet and leave like an adult.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to us. I totally forgot. I didn't even do our introductions of like saying you're Mikey and I'm me.
No, we were just looking forward to getting into it. There were 2 stories I had prepped and ready to go. We didn't get to.
Yeah, I actually had 2 more too, but that just means, guess what? If you guys like this, we'll do another episode. We're probably going to do one anyway, but you really want us to do another one, let us know in the comment section down below. Speaking of down below, just a heads up.
Actually. I'm going to interrupt you there because, we have our casual things. If you feel so inclined and inspired, share your fun work stories in the comment section. I want to see what other people get into because I've never been a chef. I've never been a fucking a proper salesman. I'd like to see what people get up to. So ignore him. Leave a comment. Tell us your story down below. I want to hear it.
I would love to do that. Like, all of a sudden, we just start reading off what some of our fans have done to customers or what have been done to them. That'd be actually amazing. So, yeah, do that.
There's over 800 of you. There's got to be at least 9 good stories.
Let's go. I'm not gonna... But yes, on that note, ladies and germs, thank you very much for hanging out with us. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up that down below, there's some buttons in the comment section, and I highly suggest that you do whatever you want to with them. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.